Hey everybody, Rebecca here, checking in at the end of August to let y'all know how the August budget went. It was a disaster of a spending month. I'll just be completely honest. I spent way too much money this month. And speaking of spending too much money, last week I released my home before and after video, and I fully expected to be completely roasted in the comment section about how much money I put into renovating this house, but you guys are just way too kind. As of the day that I am filming this budget review video, I haven't had one single negative comment about the amount of money that I spent on this house, and I can't believe that because it was a lot of money. It was double what I expected. So yeah, you guys are really very kind, and hopefully you'll be just as gentle once we get into this budget review. But if not, I completely understand, because I full well realize getting into this video that I spent too much damn money in August, and honestly the last few months have been that way. And really, I do want to make September, and honestly the rest of this year, the last quarter of 2022, I want to make it a minimal spending budget. Now there's some things that are going to come up in September that can't be avoided, like the veterinary visits for Bjorn, my cat, and Rolo too is going to be pretty expensive, but you know, that's out of my control. That's just things that they need, and I'm talking about getting control of the things that I can control, which is mainly my groceries. Food household budget has just been crazy for the last few months. I upped it from $500 a month to $600 a month, and I still blew it for August. We will see that when we get into the budget. So yeah, today is definitely a beers and budgeting review, because you may need one too after you see all of the ridiculous amount of money that I have spent. So let's hop in and assess the damage. Okay, here we are looking at the August 2022 budget. This is my Google Sheets template that I have available as a free download. If you like this kind of style of budgeting, you can download it yourself and use it for free. Check the first link down in the description box below. Starting at the top with my net income for the month. The carryover amount from July is a big number because the house renovations were still ongoing coming into August, so I had a lot of money just sitting in my checking account that was earmarked for the home renovations. I had $10,867 that rolled over from July, and I do have my work paychecks blacked out for privacy. I don't share all of my income sources on the channel just for some privacy, you guys, but I do share the totals at the bottom. The next item that y'all can see here is a transfer from mom, and if I'm being 100% honest, I have to admit that I feel a little bit sheepish for accepting this offer from my mom. Basically, y'all saw the home renovation before and after video, I hope. You know that I had $96,000 to work with as far as the home renovations go. I spent $93,000 total on everything around this house, renovating it and getting it how I want. So technically I did not overspend the amount of money that I had available to use. However, if you have been following me on the channel, then you know that as the market kept tumbling, I was too tempted by all of the good deals in the stock market, and I kept throwing in chunks of money from this home renovation amount that I thought that I wouldn't need for the home renovations. I kept throwing some money into the markets as the markets were trending downwards. So when it came down to the last couple of projects here around the house, your girl ran out of money. And my mom, thankfully, had some money just sitting in a savings account. She offered to send over some buffer money here for me so that I could use it to just complete the home projects, and now I will pay her back that $15,000 as quickly as I possibly can, because yeah, the last few projects here at the house were very pricey, It was the exterior for the house, and the fence in the backyard was $7,500, and the fence ended up being the very last thing that the house needed. And yeah, I was just out of money by that point. So anyhow, Mom was kind enough to offer to send me this money to get everything finished. I will pay her back ASAP, and as soon as she is paid back, then I'm gonna start investing aggressively, because this house is finally done and I can get back to normal when it comes to my budgets. Next line item here, sold my AirPods. So I bought some Apple AirPods, 3rd generation. It wasn't the Pro variety, but y'all, I never used them because I just did not like the way that they fit my ears. And I also had an off-brand pair of earbuds that just paired with my phone with Bluetooth that worked fine. And honestly, the sound quality on the off-brand pair was better than what the Apple AirPods were. So I paid $200 for these AirPods months ago, and I hardly ever used them. And I just decided to go ahead and sell them, because what is the point of hanging on to them if I'm not going to use them? So I used them like a handful of times and then ended up taking a loss on that. But I guess it's just better than staying victim to the sunk cost fallacy and hanging on to them because I spent money on them but never used them, right? So anyway, I let them go and sold them for $80. Fidelity rewards, this is the cash back I get on my Fidelity credit card month to month. So I earned $39.85 that went towards my Fidelity account for all of the purchases that I made on my Fidelity card in July. This is just an automatic thing that happens every month, and I just account for it here in the budget because every little bit counts, right? AdSense is the ad revenue that I earned from the YouTube channel, and I did not earn enough ad revenue to get paid out for August, so I leave the line item here every month, but I don't get paid out every month. AdSense revenue right now is kind of down, so yeah, I should get a payout next month, I think. We'll see. So total income that I had to work with this month, I thought it was going to be about $15,500, but thanks to that transfer from Mom, I had a little over $30,000 to work with when it comes to finishing up the house budget. And we will see the amount of money that I spent on the house here. Yeah, here we go. Bills and spending section for the month. So my mortgage payment, as usual, was $735, and I owe $130,000 on this house. This is what I owed as of August 1st. My August payment has gone through, so I now owe $130,000 even, pretty much. $130,007 if you want to know specifically. So yeah, we're down to $130K that I owe on this house. And really, I'm glad that I did do the 20% down payment for this place, because if I sold the house today, like y'all saw on the home before and after video, I could sell this place for $270,000. I do have some instant equity available in this house, even though I am not planning on spending it. And even if the housing market does drop in the future, it's unlikely that it's going to drop so far that I don't have any equity in this place, right? So yeah, happy with that, and happy with my low mortgage payment here in North Carolina. It's kind of nice to have a low cost of living where I am. Utilities, I budgeted $175. This includes power, water, sewer, trash pickup. Budgeted $175, came in at $160.30 for the month. Internet is $55.21 as always. Gas for my car, I budgeted $200 and came in pretty well under budget here. Gas is continuing to drop where I'm at, but I never really know how the overtime situation at my job is going to go, so I would rather over budget for a category rather than under budget and keep going over, which brings me to my groceries, food, household budget. This is everything that I pick up when I do my once a week shopping trip for the house. So I know I did have some bigger expenses this month. I needed to get a handheld vacuum so I could clean up after Bjorn whenever he uses his litter tray in the bathroom. This cat likes to fling litter across the room whenever he uses the litter box. So rather than having to sweep up twice a day, it's a lot easier to just use a little hand vac to suck up all of that litter that he flings across the bathroom. bathroom. And that was $40. I needed to get another bag of dog food for Rolo. That was $40. You know, things just add up when you go to the grocery store, not to mention the higher cost of meat. And you know, I try to follow a keto style of diet, so I do eat a lot of meat. I needed to get another bag of chicken. I buy chicken breasts 15-pound bags at a time. That's $20 right there whenever I run out of chicken. It just adds up so quickly, which is why I upped my budget to $600, but still, I went over budget here. $767.08 spent this month, and this is not eating out. I ate out one time in the month of August, and I went to Domino's, admittedly. My channel members will know that I am trying my best to do health is wealth updates for y'all, and I do try to eat gluten-free and soy-free, but every once in a while, treat yourself. So I did go to Domino's because they had like 50% off online orders, so I got myself a little gluten-free pizza, and then I got some cheesy bread too. But all of that was $17, so yeah, that's the only amount of money that I spent on eating out in August. This category just keeps getting blown up month to month. Everything at the grocery store is more expensive than it used to be. So I don't know what to tell you besides the fact that I am not willing to up this to $700 a month just for me and the pets. I feel like I should be able to keep it at $600. And if there is anything that I'm going to focus on for the rest of 2022, now that renovations are done, it's going to be this groceries and household budget. I just don't like spending as much as I do month to month on groceries and household. I spent more this month than what my mortgage payment is. That seems a little bit crazy to me. So yeah, I got to get this under control, you guys. And that's going to be my big goal for the rest of the year, is to work on this food budget. Next after that, Amazon. So I had budgeted $28.80 because I knew I spent some money at the end of July. I bought a water bottle and a cat toy. I made notes out here to the side so I would actually remember this time. The new water bottle for me and the cat toy was $28.80, but then I needed to make another order later on in the month. So I spent some more money buying some vitamins, more coffee, more whey protein powder for me. Vitamins, coffee, and whey protein powder are things that I regularly get on Amazon, probably every other month or every 3 months. And that's a pretty large expense when I do make an order, but the biggest expense in this $508.67 that I spent on Amazon in August was a spare battery for my electric lawnmower. I do have an Ego push mower, and the battery that I have does not quite last long enough for me to mow my entire yard here. So I hated cutting my grass until the battery died, and then having to wait for the battery to recharge to finish cutting the grass, because it is the South here. It is hot and humid outside, and even when I try to cut my grass either first thing in the morning or late into the evening, if I have to wait for that battery to charge when I'm cutting grass at night, I run out of daylight. And honestly, I hate to stop in the middle of it. I just want to keep going and get it done, because I am sweating like a whore in church whenever I am mowing my grass outside. It's hot, y'all, and I hate to stop. So I ended up spending $250 getting a spare battery for my lawnmower. So that way, when I'm cutting grass, I can have one battery charging. When the battery I'm using runs out, I can immediately replace it with the spare battery and just keep going until my yard is done. So that was the big expense from Amazon in August this month. Bjorn. So this is going to be where y'all, if you were holding back and did not roast me in my home before and after spending, you'll roast me now, because yeah, I spent some money on Bjorn this month. So 200 of this actually was getting his microchip information switched over from the shelter information to mine. So that was 200 of it. A little bit pricey, but whatever, it is what it is. I needed the information to be my information and not the shelter information anymore if he were to get lost and get outside and be picked up by anybody who scans him for a microchip. The other $800 of this is a very large piece of driftwood that I'm going to use as basically a glorified scratching post for the cat, but it's also going to be a nice piece of home decor. So I know that he is going to love this thing because I actually have a smaller piece of driftwood on my coffee table here in the living room that he loves to play with and climb on and scratch, and it's his favorite thing. So when I realized how much he loved this piece of driftwood that I have on the coffee table, I thought, since he's going to be an inside-only cat, I want him to be happy. Why don't I actually get him a larger piece of driftwood that I can put in front of my window here in the living room that he can climb on and scratch his claws and do whatever he wants to do. It can be his own personal little jungle gym, and he'll be happy about it. And it will hopefully keep him from scratching other things in the house as much, because y'all, as he is getting older, he's getting a little bit more adventurous. I have caught this cat climbing my curtains in my bedroom. He climbs up my headboard in the back of my bedroom. He climbs up the side of the couch on the back to get on the back of the couch here and run back and forth. He has recently started deciding that he wants to try and climb my kitchen cabinets. The nice long handles that I have on my kitchen cabinets are just something for him to grab onto where he can try and pull himself up. So y'all, I did not spend $93,000 on this house to have a new kitten who was going to try and destroy it. But I hoped that he would be kind of a more chill cat that wouldn't try to do those things, but he is not. He wants to climb, he wants to scratch his claws, he wants to play with things, and I mean, he's a kitten, that's what they do. Don't let the innocence right now fool you. He's only a good kitten when he's sleeping like that. So yeah, the $800 that I spent on this large piece of driftwood, I think will be worth it, especially if it becomes his new favorite thing and he wants to climb and scratch all over that. That's fine. Not to mention, it will look nice in the house because I did buy a cat tower for him, but honestly, he doesn't really use the thing very much. So I spent $100 on the cat tower and he doesn't really like it all that much. I would rather spend money on something that I know he will love and climb all over and scratch, and hopefully that will spare the rest of the house from getting absolutely destroyed here. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I just threw away $800, but I know that I didn't, because even if for some reason he doesn't like this piece of driftwood that I bring in, it's still going to look really good as a piece of home decor. And I already used driftwood a little bit in my home decor with the coffee table piece that I have. So it'll work. Anyhow, this is what I meant when I said that I just spent way too much damn money in August. And I know that $800 on something just for a kitten really is a bit much, but if it spares the rest of the house at all, it's worth it. So it is what it is there. Next is Rolo. So this $750 and the $300 that I had budgeted for Bjorn and Rolo this month was expected veterinary expenses. They're both due for vaccines, and I thought that I was going to take them to the vet across the street, get their vaccines done, and get them all up to date with everything. But the vet across the street is backed up and short-staffed, and I could not get them an appointment until September. So I ended up not spending any money on Rolo this month, but it's gonna hit come September. So does it really make a difference in the long run? No, I just pushed this expense out another month. Next after that is salon. So this is my electrolysis visits that I do. I budget $240 in case I go 3 times a month because it's $80 every time I go. I only went twice for August, so this was $160 there. Gym festival. This was just a thing that I went up to in my hometown. If you saw my video about paying off the mortgage early, I showed a little bit of footage in that video from the gym festival. I just decided to go up because this is something that my hometown does every year, and I like looking at this stuff. I think that looking at all of these geodes and quartz clusters and all of the different gyms that you see at these shows are just really interesting. I like it. So I bought a few few things when I went up there and ended up spending $240.05 while I was there. This GoFundMe thing, I made a community post about this. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but there's another huge channel here on YouTube, a financial YouTuber. His channel name is called In the Money, and it's all one word, In the Money. I have learned so much from him about trading options. He's a good channel to go back and look at his older content if you're trying to get into options trading. I recommended him on previous videos that I have made, and he just makes really entertaining videos as well, back when he was posting regularly. But basically for the last year, his brother, his twin brother, he has an identical twin, and him both have been having some really challenging health issues. And basically, despite his portfolio and the funds that he has, the funds that his family is helping with, his dad is a doctor, they are still incurring some major medical costs and things that insurance will not cover. And y'all, I knew that I spent a lot of money this month, but I felt like I have gotten so much value from his channel that I could send $100 his way to help with the medical costs that they're having to deal with right now. I have earned well over $100 worth of options premium, and part of the reason that I am in options now is because of the In the Money channel. He had a good way of breaking things down and making it understandable for me. So I felt like paying it forward a little bit. So I sent $100 his way. Really, this has been one thing that has kind of like renewed my faith in humanity, because honestly, the entire financial YouTube community just got behind him so quickly. His GoFundMe now is approaching $100,000. And just going through the comment section of that GoFundMe page, hearing other people talk about how much they were helped by the videos that he had made, it's just amazing to see everybody rally so strongly behind them and really try to help out with these medical costs. So yeah, I did my little part there, sent $100 his way. Hopefully it helps, and I hope that he gets well and can get back to making regular videos. So that was the least I could do, really. Next is Scott. So Scott is the owner of a company around here that orders exterior stuff for renovating homes. So this is the guy that I went to get the vinyl siding and the stonework, all of the soffit material, basically everything they needed to do the exterior of this house, except for the deck, came from Scott. So the amount of exterior work you guys saw was pretty extensive here at the house, and the cost to me for all of the exterior materials was $9,022.29. That's a lot of money, but I cannot be mad at that because the exterior of this house looks amazing now. So yeah, this was just the cost of the materials for the exterior. Next, contractor. So yeah, this is where I had run out of money, you guys. I budgeted $10,000 because that is what I had to roll over from the end of July into August. And y'all can see my contractor ended up getting $20,000 this month. And this is everything. The labor for finishing the deck to wrap around and come towards the front of the house, the labor for doing all of the exterior work, getting rid of my cement patio that was in the front was a lot of labor. And this is the cost for the fence going up in the backyard as well. So I think honestly, this was the biggest month for my contractor. Everything just hit right here at the end, and my funds were running out here at the end of the renovation. So I'm glad that everything is finished, because now things can get back to normal, and I will no longer have to keep holding on to big chunks of money to send to my contractor. September is going to be as normal of a budget as I can make it, barring the veterinary expenses and barring the negative balance that we're going to look at here in just a bit. Moving down into the debt section of the budget, I only have one non-mortgage debt left, and that is my car. I pay $500 a month towards my car payment. The interest rate on my car is 1.98%. So as of right now, I'm not paying it aggressively, and I owe about $27,500 on it now because this was the balance as of August 1st. My $500 payment has gone through, so I now owe about $27,500 on my car. My last section here is my investing and fire tracking portion of the budget. I have a bunch of different investing accounts, but I only show the real numbers that I contribute to each of these accounts for the channel members. And if you are a channel member, then check the membership section of my channel. You will see this portion of the budget for you guys. And if you are not a channel member, my savings rate for this month, I do share publicly, and it's pretty minimal. It was only 5.07% this month. All of my money went towards this house, getting it finished. So yeah, investing really wasn't a lot this month. And am I financially independent yet? I am 17.48% of the way to my fire number, which brings me to the bottom of the budget here. This is the negative balance I was talking about. So yeah, my expenses this month, despite the $15,000 transfer from my mom, were still more than what I had available to work with. So I am in the red by $2,330.89. Now, this is the amount of money that will be floated on my Fidelity card going into September. I was able to pay Scott using my credit card. So this $9,000 that I was charged for the materials for the exterior of the house all went on my credit card. And I expect to be able to pay off that balance in full before the interest accrues. But for this month, I did not have enough money to pay it off by the end of the month. I will pay it off before interest accrues when my next billing cycle happens. But still, for the month of August, I ended up being in the red, you guys. I hate that, but I should be able to handle this come September. September is a 3-paycheck month for me, so that will help. And as long as I can keep the rest of my spending under control, then I think I will be able to pay off my credit card balance before interest accrues on it. So yeah, I told y'all at the beginning, August was an ugly month for the budget, and it definitely was. I very rarely have a month where I'm actually negative, but this month was one of those months. Okay, everybody, that covers it for the August budget wrap up. Honestly, this is a month that I am glad to see go. I am glad that August is done. Y'all let me know how it went for you down in the comment section below. I hope that you guys didn't end up in the red like I did. Moving forward, I am looking forward to ending 2022 strong. I want the last quarter of 2022 to look really good as far as savings rate goes. I want to keep that groceries and household budget under budget. I'm really going to try to focus on keeping my expenses down. I know inflation is a thing, but y'all, I need to do better about watching that food and household budget. So I know these things, I need to prioritize them moving forward, and we're gonna end 2022 strong. So I hope that you've enjoyed this budget review. If you happen to be new to the channel, the whole purpose of me budgeting at all is to keep track of my expenses so that I can invest more, so that I can reach financial independence and retire early. So if you want to follow the journey, feel free to subscribe down below. I have been sharing my monthly budget since I started this channel 4 years ago. So yeah, if you want to see how the journey has gone, you can really go back way to the beginning and see how much progress I have made. While August maybe was not the best month I've ever had on the channel, the amount of progress that I have made in the last 4 years is really staggering when I zoom out and take a look at that. And I completely contribute that to the fact of me budgeting. I just started paying attention to where my money was going and taking control of that versus just letting my money fly away whenever I would get a paycheck in. So yeah, budgeting is a powerful tool, and I really just can't understand how it gets such a negative connotation with budgeting. Don't call it budgeting if you don't want to. Call it a financial plan. Call it spending with intention. Call it whatever you need to just start taking account of where your money is going every month and taking control of that. That's all you got to do to get to financial independence and retire early. So that wraps it up for this one. Thanks as always for watching if you made it all the way to the end. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.